What's up, gamers? I'm Mr. Not So Good, and I'm showing you a few races I had while going down Tsubaki line on Touge Live 3 servers while playing Assetto Corsa. Now, I have the graphics almost maxed out, but not quite, because I have my hardware isn't capable of supporting all the graphics. But anyway, back to the racing. Coming into here, these guys do get a little scurry. I make a mistake, I drop a tire, but now I gotta go. If you watch closely, right about here, my controller DCs, and I go into the wall, and I have to close this gap back because I won't let this man pass me thinking I made a stupid mistake whenever I make stupid mistakes all the time, but it's not the point, okay? I'm gonna pass him back. That's what's gonna happen. Coming to this bend, this one can really hurt you or help you, and we both make the exact same mistake. I followed him in too hot, got into the wall. Coming around this hairpin, I didn't want to flick. I wanted the Assetto to come around a little more than it did, but it just too much grip, man. As I give the wall a little love tap. Now watch closely coming to this section. You're gonna notice me close a lot of time as I make a not as major mistake as him into the wall. But right here, this is where I'm gonna start whittling down the distance. Pay attention to my throttle inputs right here and all my braking inputs. Smooth is fast. If I was a floor, I'd actually go a lot slower through there. Thought about throttle management and pedaling it. Now this part is kind of funny. We happen to just both go wide. We made the exact same mistake. Look at this. He goes wide, I go wide, I bounce off the wall, it points back down towards the apex where I want to be, and I get a better drive off him. So coming into this corner, I've been making a bunch of tiny mistakes, and right now in real time, I'm thinking to myself, making mistakes is faster than not making mistakes is faster than doing all the crashing and stuff, so I'm gonna just try and run clean line, no crashing, and this is the product of that. Coming around into this bend, which is one of my favorite bends. It's easy to make a mistake and lose time, but we both got around there pretty subtly. Now this one is a really fast section, and I think he makes a slight bobble coming into here. No, we both came around there pretty well. Right here, this one. This is where I'll start closing the time. Watch closely. He's gonna make a mistake. This is his demise right here. He washes wide, bumps into the wall. Now he's stuck on the inside line, which allows me to set up and get the job done. And I do just that. I'm working. I'm not gonna give him any room. Well, I'll give him a little bit of room to not crash, but that was it. Now this guy is angry. He wants his pass back. He sees red. Well, because I am in a red Mazda. But anyway, back to the race. He is right behind me. He gets a good lunge on me to that corner, but unfortunately he understeers a little wider and he just wasn't able to hang. I do believe I have more grip than him, but I did make a mistake right here. I got on the brakes and the car just wanted to push onto the inside of the hairpin, and that set me up for a horrible exit. I made the same mistake he did coming to here. And here comes a GTR flying down the mountain, and I'm not going to wait for him. I'm just going to keep going full send because I got a dead-gone Toyota on my booty hole. I can't come into here. I do a talking me braking drift. I'm literally shitting myself trying to not fly off the road, and I managed to keep it together. He's still right there on my heels, putting the pressure on, not allowing me any breathing room. I have to carry a lot of momentum through here, which is really risky because I almost went into the wall, but my driver instincts kicked in, and I avoided that tragedy. This braking zone, super important. I think I came out a little too late, but he didn't have enough distance to get the lunge on me, so I'm fine. At this distance you can drive fast versus defensively because he's not in striking distance. There's no physical way he could go for a lunge right here. So I'm no longer taking a defensive line. But on these Touge racing, there is, but there isn't a defensive line just because of the nature of it. Onto the brakes right here. Taking a defensive line because it's easy to lunge right there, but I was off my mark, but luckily he just wasn't in striking distance. So I'm comfortable, but now he is in striking distance. I got to be on my wits right here, but thankfully I got a better drive out that corner, so I don't got to worry about him coming in, closing the gap on me. Now right here, you want to do minimum inputs as possible. That's the fastest way through there, minimum as possible. Here's the bend. Big braking zone right here. Really easy to get past up right there, but unfortunately I make it stick. Easy money, bread and butter all day, easy days. Now he makes a mistake right here, and that is the end of the race because he was no longer behind me. He has died. As I do the same thing, that was not on purpose. I was trying to set up for the braking zone, and he comes and checks on me. I give him the lights of approval, and he continues on, and we set up a battle for the next guy. Now right here, this freaking Mazda comes out of nowhere. I barely see him in time. I'm like, oh, I gotta get out the way. Then boom, and he's out of here. Now I just got the Toyota's attention, the person I was trying to race. Now the GTR creeping up behind us. Now this is a RX-7 versus E886 versus an R34. So this is a pretty stacked situation here. I am up front, so I do gotta just focus on driving away into the sunset. That's all I gotta do. I just gotta drive into the sunset. It's easy. Ain't nothing to it. Coming around here, I do get a lot of speed through this bend right here. A little bit too much. Into the wall. Nearly hitting the wall. He almost got around me on the outside, but fortunately I just barely had enough speed to stay in front. The GTR putting pressure on the E886. You're going to want to watch in the mirrors. That's where a lot of the content's going to be for this clip right here. Coming into the hairpin. Now I get a better entry, but I didn't get a good exit though. I kind of pussyfooted a little bit, and so the car straightened up and I went into the wall. But I kept my position like a tailgate master. And the GTR is putting a lot of pressure on the Toyota, and he's putting pressure on me in return. So I'm getting a little bit distracted, because it is very distracting to have those lights right on your booty hole. It is not the best of times. Now this hairpin section, this section following up to the hairpin is really important, because you can get a bad exit right here and not have enough speed to pass. But fortunately I get a good defensive exit. I didn't really need to take a defensive line through there. Well, I did. I kind of drifted, which blocked him off, and unfortunately it set me up for a crash, and they both get around me. Moving on to the next clip, after I completely bump him off the road, trying to let the other guy by, but I don't think he's gonna come by. Okay, here we go. Now on to the next clip. I'm chasing this guy down. This is my goal. I didn't show you the first part because it's just kind of sloppy. But that was beautiful hairpins, nicely executed coming up onto this guy. This guy does have a little bit of speed, but watch how much time I close in this momentum section. Look at how far he is ahead of me. Just look at this, coming this. Watch my throttle work. As smooth as I can possibly be for the whole entire section. Closing up all that ground like a pro. Now I am going to keep working and whittling away at this gap and see if I can chase this guy down. He does make a mistake into this hairpin. Fortunately for me, that gives me a lot of time to get back on this buddy hole. Closing the gap through here. He does get a really bad exit through here. I get a better exit. Coming up through here, he's on a better line to get a strong exit, but unfortunately he just doesn't get on power sooner. He could have got on power way sooner, and that gives me time to close the gap, getting closer and closer. The sweet initial D brake lights almost in my reaching distance, as I do gain a lot of time on that braking zone. Kiss the wall and I lose it all. Now I'm back in the race again to close the gap, but hopefully I can get it done around this bend in one swift move. Boom, I'm back where I was. I'm back fighting for the thing. Now I do gain time right here. He washes wide, but I get a little wide too, but I still stay on power. I'm still working at the gap. Come right here. I'm going to be gaining time through here just because I love this section, I guess. I don't know. I just like it a lot. It's a really fun section to drive. Coming up through here, he takes the traditional line. I take the cut every single time, and that did pay off. I did gain a few tenths on him through there. His brake lights are now on my hood, which is a good sign. I'm getting closer and closer to striking at him for a pass. Coming into this hairpin, now I gotta be careful. I gotta match his exit. This is a really tough game. Unfortunately, he gets a slow, it looks sick though, but he gets a slow entry, and that gives me time to keep up with them on the exit. So I literally lost maybe a little bit to the hairpin, but not a lot. Coming up through here, the Takumi braking drift corner. He washes wide, and that gives me a better setup for this corner right here. I'm gonna have a lot more speed coming off this bend because the line I take, and this big sweeper. He washes wide, gets a bad setup right here, tries to cut in, hops in the gutter, and he slides wide, hits the wall, and he resets into oblivion. And the next clip, this guy just lag punches me to the moon, and you can visibly see my confusion. Just look, I'm visibly confused. Like, what the heck? Why? Reset, and he's gonna lag away into Jesus again. There he goes, lagging away into Jesus, and he's gone. Now this is a clean hairpin. I just wanted to throw this in there because just to prove I can do it. It is possible, but you know, not every time, not that consistent. But that'll do it for my video. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate your time. I've been having hell uploading this video. I don't know what's going on, but if it's up on YouTube, then you know that I gotta figure it out. And if you never hear this, then I never figured it out. Like, subscribe, love you, bye.